Why, hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, guys. How are you? Yes, I've been away for a minute, but I'm back. Things get crazy, guys. But that said, I just wanted to talk to you guys about two books today. Of course, Passage from Decadence. Because we don't talk about it enough. This is a full blown novel. It is an amazing read. Trust me. A power read. You guys are going to love this. And of course, the cover is beautiful. And look at this, guys. Again, wow, how beautiful is that? Passage from Decadence. I love the tagline for Passage from Decadence, which is illusions are dangerous people, they have no flaws. Which a truer here and around Atlanta, no truer statement can be made. And the reason I say it's such a power read is because it's multi-genre, forbidden love, struggle love, millionaire turned billionaire lover. These are based on actual events that friends and I have seen up close and personal. So it's crazy. Of course, you're going to get the wannabe savages against Stella Ann, who's a barbarian at the gate. She and Bart, I tell you, watching those two, it is like a crazy tennis match or March Madness basketball or, the NFL. It's like, do you two love each other, hate each other? Is it a love-hate relationship? What type of relationship is this? But sitting back, watching it from the rear, we learn so much from these two as far as relationship goes and how to handle certain situations that come up in relationships. So I found that absolutely fascinating and wonderful to see. But that said, wow, it's an unforgettable read. I believe you as readers, will pick up. You'll read it once is never enough with Passage from Decadence. I'll put it that way. Once is never enough because you don't know whether to love Stella Ann, hate her. She's just, we loved her. She had her ways. Don't get me wrong. But we loved her. She was amazing. Think of it this way. You want to learn how to be power daters? This is the book. This is the book. You want to learn how to have more control of yourself and your relationships? This is the book. And there's so many plot twists and turns. And I mean, we bring the heat and fire in chapter 2 and 3 that fast. We didn't wait for the 7-10 beats. There was no way we could do that. It was because this book has so much fire, so much steam, so much passion. But, these are lovable neurotics. And what I mean by lovable neurotics is, sometimes they're going to do things that you're going to say to yourself, they are totally crazy and off the grid. But you also can't resist loving them either. It's like, is this a love-hate relationship? You feel as though you have become a part of the story, the struggle. Because one moment you're pulling for Bart. The next moment you're pulling for Stella Ann. But in the end, the ending is so gut-wrenching. I had to really read it 3 or 4 times. Like, did I write that? Did I write that? Did I write that? But yes, I did. And when I put my mind to writing and really, really write, just think I have a million, I keep them. This is the holy grail of my notes, guys. That's why you see it here all the time. Plus, I have stacks of notes. I can't help it. But that said, when you get to the end, it's so riveting. And so but it ends on a cliffhanger. So there you go, boom, 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 boom. But you will love, 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 love Passage from Decadence second edition. And I believe everyone's asking for who reads it. Like, is there going to be a sequel to this? Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. I'm seriously contemplating doing that. But you guys will love Passage from Decadence. Get the book. Because listen, okay, wait 1 moment. Let's see, I think I'll read a little bit if I can. Okay, let's chapter 11, The Lotus Bomb. This is a plot twisting chapter, believe it. One of them. One of many. But that said, because I think there's close to 30 chapters here. But that said, let's go with Lotus Bomb, guys. Bart began to touch her body, studying every curve and slope. It was too much, and she shivered, yet the room was on fire from the sensual heat. The center of her body began to smolder, and the only thing she could do was to close her eyes and abandon herself to the ambience of the moment. She knew that it was okay to get lost because Bart would find her and bring her deep inside his world. Bart reached down in one quick gesture and spread Stella's legs wide as he grabbed her ankles. He wrapped his hands around her ankles like steel clamps, completely cutting off her circulation, and she could only wait in anticipation of whatever was coming next. He forced his face into her womanhood, and Stella moaned in ecstasy. She began to move back and forth as he intensified the sensation by the flicking of his tongue vigorously against the erect portions of her now moist womanhood. The sensations were so intense that she was almost hysterical and tried to get up, but he thrust her backwards and placed his hands over her stomach, holding her firmly into place. She was no longer lost. She was trapped there in Bart's domain. He had brought her here, and she would later learn the true meaning of that moment. Well, there you go. I don't play around and I don't kid. I take writing very seriously. And I bring romance readers that I want you to know, as readers, as reviewers, that, how do I put it? Veterans and soldiers are people too. And we may appear to be stoic and tough lovers, but when it comes to passion, we'll either succumb to it or bring it. In most occasions, both. So here you have this stoic woman who had basically thwarted off men. Bart was nowhere in her LOS line of sight or her LZ landing zone. But somehow he managed to slake his way into her mental or cognitive and emotional sanctum. But the way he did it was so powerful and unreal. So that said, ladies and gentlemen, I say this to say this story is not only powerful, but it's also it's a journey. It's a learning experience. And readers, you're going to take away so much from this book. Ooh, so many powerful moments that will stand in your head. So if you want the quintessential power read, and this is not rhetoric or just talk and hype. I just read it to you, and that was just the first paragraph in that particular chapter. And I write long. This book had long, drawn out chapters. But that said, ladies and gentlemen, you will enjoy the books. Get the books, get the books, get the books. If you are KU Book Talk, I'm telling you, Black Book Talk, white book, it doesn't matter. I just say Book Talk, period. I'm definitely a multiracial author, so expect that. And the reason why I write I would put my writing as a SME, subject matter expert, is definitely interracial and military romantic suspense. Because I know it, I lived it, I'm a veteran. I know it up close and personal. And my experiences that I was privy to watch, privy to live, are in these books. Because, they say truth is stranger than fiction. And that is what you're going to get from me. The truth that's stranger than fiction. Because when I write my military romantic suspense books, especially novellas, books, because I'm working on a Kindle novella now, listen to me close. I'm going to bring you authentic military situations, not situations where I sat and watched, television and took notes or talked to someone. No, because I know I've been in the whole gear, combat ready. I served under, I'm a Persian Gulf veteran. It says it on my paperwork. I dated officers, general, 1-star, 2-star, colonels, lieutenants, first sergeants, sergeant majors. I've been there, done that. I'm 60 years old. I'm a baby boomer. Let me tell you all something. Baby boomers can write romance. We write it in a way that it's different to most, especially young readers, but it's no less powerful. We write in a, some of our, I would say, verbiage may be different, but we write from our souls. We write from a purview of experience. Not to say other writers haven't had that experience, but if you're a 25, 20, 30-year-old writer, you haven't been there yet. You're getting there. You're homing your craft as you get older, and that's what we older authors do. We write from what we know. We've seen world histories that most people would kill for. To have lived in that moment. To live in those moments. Oh yeah, it's getting hot in here. Got the shirt on. Yeah, my writing pen is on fire. But I'm downstairs, so the door is open. But someone's barbecuing and the smoke's coming in. So if I keep doing this, it's like, what is that? Ugh, the smoke. But that said, ladies and gentlemen, I love Hemingway. I love all the old, Langston Hughes, the Harlem Renaissance. My urban fiction is definitely going to be like, because I say that part of Passage from Decadence does fall under urban fiction. Because many of the events take place in Buckhead, North Atlanta, which is a swanky. It's like Lenox Hill in New York. Period. Point blank. Or Hyde Park, where the Obamas lived in Chicago. That type of urban enclave, where life is ever changing. Greenwich Village. Definitely, Buckhead is definitely like the old Greenwich Village of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that we remember. So, and I do pull from the past when I'm writing because I lived in it. I know how to merge both together. That's just the type of writer I am. So, think about it. I tell everyone, and I say this over and over again, I'm an adventurer. I've been an adventurer since I was 5, 6 years old. I used to walk, back then, little kids, we could walk for blocks and blocks and blocks away from home because it was a village. If you're caught away from home, I don't care how old you are, Miss Susie, Miss Edna somebody, Miss Scott, especially, don't let Miss Scott and Miss Susie catch you. Oh my, and Miss Eva May. Before you, every 10 steps, they're out looking out the window. You better get home. The sun's going down. I'm calling Miss Mayor on you, and we're hauling tail, trying to get there before Grandpa might get that call. And that's that's why I ran track, because I used to run like crazy trying to get back home. But that's the type of upbringing I had, world experience. I put all of that into my writing and my books. That's why the beginning, my prologue, sometimes they may seem to drag, because if you notice, most older writers, we just won't give it to you up front. We'll give it to you, we'll pull you in, but I want you to get into the character psyche. I want you to get into their conflict, their inner conflict, that inner, what's ailing them so badly that they feel so repressed that love is never going to happen to them, or that they can only live through life, their love lives, they can only connect through dark passions, which, ironically enough, is a trait of most veterans with PTSD or anyone who suffered trauma. We have to come to you from the dark place. It took me years to come out of the darkness, and which I'm writing a book about my relationship when I was with an officer. I was dating an officer, well, actually 2 officers at once. But I was a commitment phobe. I had life going on, careers, children. My kids were in college at the time. I just didn't want to commit. I was horrified of commitment because I felt that, oh my God, what am I going to miss out on if I totally commit to you? And are you really committed? Are you committed to control me, or are you committed? That's where my mindset was. So, and that's the way I write. So you have to understand that. my books tell you a great deal about who I am, what I am. Not completely, but it's mostly from a romantic perspective. I will always, always advocate for adventure because adventures, they basically they start your life journey. Excuse me. You can't know what's going on in the world without taking that chance, without that journey. Go on that adventure. I learned at a young age. It is true. I was 6 years old when Russia invaded the Czech Republic. We were living in Germany. They attacked in the middle of the night. Put that into perspective of a young child of color in Germany. Here comes Mother Russia. They were dropping these things. I don't know what they were, balloons or whatever. And they had this like sulfuric type smell into the chimney tops. Now, can you imagine? You have MiGs flying over, planes, whatever they were doing. They're dropping these things into rooftops or whatever they were dropping. When it hits, that smell has been with me all my life. I remember Romy, my best friend, she was a little German friend. Now, her mother had this humongous, they were very well off, Frau. Frau had this beautiful, I think her husband had passed, so she wasn't a Fraulein. I think we called her Frau something, because she was, but her sister, she was very stoic. She took her daughter and tossed her to my mom. Please, take her, please, 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 take her. My mother had a baby in the arm, my sister next to me. My mother just, that's the black Margaret Thatcher. She gathered us all up and took us all wherever we needed to go. It was life-changing. So when you live life from that perspective, you see things in a totally different light. Period. Then I became, an adventurer all my life. Having served in the military in Italy, Italy was the game changer. It changed everything. Period. I'll say, Italy was something. Germany is fun, but Italy is life-changing. You change your entire perspective. All the foolish notions you have, Italians will correct you on that really quick. But that said, I've been a traveler all my life, and I advise men, women, but women most especially, you have got to get out of the shell, get out of the cliques. Find that one true, trusted friend, or as the colonel would say, the trusted agent. You gotta have a trusted agent. Sugar. Find that one true friend that will always have your back, that will travel with you and understand what true adventure means. And I'm not a hopeless romantic. I'm an incurable one, which is why I write romance books, because I lived romance and I know romance. And I do write romance from a realist perspective, because I'm a total existentialist, realist. I see things. I go with my gut. I go with my instinct. Period. And, some people, they can't take that. They don't like that. They see it as some type of negative or, excuse me, derogatory thing. It's not. I'm just looking at you thinking, God, you got to go through life so mean and bitch. I mean, I had one colleague and friend for a moment, because I don't know what was wrong with that girl of mine. She would always tell me, you got to read the book, Why Men Marry Bitches. I'm thinking, dear God, please, for the sake of God, get away from those dating help books. They're not grounded in realism. Most of them. Some of them, yes. But you have to really scrutinize. I mean, think about it. Why Men Marry... Only a guy could write that book. How maligning and misogynistic is that? I'm only going to marry a bitch. So I have to be mean and cruel to you for you to like me? So you're trying to change my entire makeup and dynamic. That's not what romance is. That's not what love is. That's not what passion is. If they have to change you, I could see both of you changing for the better. But to just completely overhaul you, your ideologies, what you stand for, etc., absolutely not. The maximum range of that is 0. Period. With a T. I'm just saying. Think about that. That's ridiculous. But this is what she believed in. You date one guy a night for 2 weeks, and you decide who you're going to pick. What? Are you serious? I I'm old. I may be older than you, but I ain't never heard of stuff. I don't. That's totally unrealistic. You know, like this person has 7 figures or 8 figures. Okay, wait a minute. Weren't you with the 8-figure guy who left you and only paid up your expenses for 6 months and you were on your own after that? Holy crap. The 6-7 figure stuff, out. That it's unrealistic. That's why I don't put it in any of my books. That's why I don't. You're not gonna see me dating a thug, life with a thug, this thug, that thug. I'm sorry, I can't. Whew. I think there. I don't want the world to think that ethnic women, black, brown, red, yellow, whatever, that's the way we live. It's not. That's why I don't write that kind of stuff. I don't write like that, ladies. I cannot. Maybe because I'm older and, I can write fire. But I write about the real conflict in my books. You're going to get what you pay for. And a little extra because when I bring fire, I start with a spark. Then I give you the tension. Then I give you the fire. Okay, the fire is lit. But before you know it, there's a bonfire. And it is smoldering with heated passion. And that is how you write. That is what my mentor teaches me almost on a daily basis. Period, point blank. And I love that. And he still teaches me to this very day. So, ladies and gentlemen, that said, I didn't mean to rant. Yes, I did mean to rant on and on and on. Because you guys, I want you to get to know me as an author. Feel me. Feel who I am. Get to know who I am. And know that I am a very good writer. I write exactly what you want. So, those of you who love that struggle love, Passage from Decadence. Passage from Decadence is it. So let's move on. Oh my God, this is my latest release. Operation Night Mixer. We turn the heat up times 10 in this book. Yes, the ending is very controversial, very powerful. But this is a romantic suspense. Why give you, you do not get the hyped up suspense in the James Bond movies until what? The end. And that's what we did with this. We took you to First Class Sebastian King. He comes from a very wealthy family. We take you through his psyche, his emotions, why he became so bitter, but he didn't allow his ex-wife to break him. And she was a very vicious, bitter woman. And she hurt and harmed him the cruelest manner you possibly could. But it's in the book, in the book, in the book. But we also take you into his cognitive elitism. Some First Class King has a master's degree, and he's an actual person. He has a master's degree in psychology. He loved Dr. Gustav Jung and Dr. Otto Gross. And he loathed Sigmund Freud. Which you have to wonder about a person with that type, a gentleman with that type, especially a soldier suffering from PTSD the way he does. Their psyche, their passion underneath is going to smolder and stir and stir. And his type are always going to be the alpha hero, alpha male. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And he's a type, he will dress your passion and your ideologies on relationships. I'll put it that way. He is all fire, as we say in the South. Not fire, fire. He's nothing but fire. And knows exactly what to say and how to say it. He knows what to say. He'll say what he wants to say without saying it. I put it that way. But we also put, I think, chapter 4, if I'm not mistaken. There is a scene. That desert scene is so powerful, passionate, and amped up with steam. And who would ever think to put a scene like that in the desert? Only a soldier and veteran writer could, because we understand it and know it. That's what makes Operation Night Mixer. And the reason why I titled it Operation Night Mixer is because Sebastian was a DJ and he loved R&B. You could hear the sounds through the billeting, the barracks, and he would just jam it up. But he also knew those sultry songs that will just swoon you and get you. He was something. I'm just saying. And you will love the passion between them. And with Elle, because this is from the Elle Chronicles, there's an office scene that so many, I would say both male and, I put it this way, most women will identify with the office scene because you have the entire office pool behind Elle. I mean, to the point where her assistant helps her to undress and dress in the office. She dresses up in a trench coat with these stilettos and fishnet stockings, etc. Tie. That's it. Tie it up and take her packed bags that was brought over from all the high end stores for the weekend. You know, it's really, really powerful stuff. You're going to love it. But that said, all of this is in the book. And the entire office pool follows Elle all the way out the door. You know, have a great weekend for us. And they're living literally vicariously through Elle. The reader, you're going to get that experience as well. That's why I said these books are very powerful. And you're going to love them. You're going to love them. Trust me. So, that said, get the book. Operation Night Mixer. You will not be disappointed, male or female, because you have not, I wouldn't say espionage, but you do have rogue opportunists in the end. The end is just unbelievable. And trigger warning. This book, 5 chili peppers. That's how. This is the darkest I've ever written. I don't think I can go back to that because it took so much out of me. But you guys are going to really love the book. Get the book. And also, there's another scene, chapter 4 and 5. No, 4, 5, and 6. That's where the peppers start multiplying. Click. I'm just going to say, once readers read this book, you'll never look at Humvees the same ever again, or deserts. Whenever you see a desert scene, you'll be tickle pink. And that's what the book leaves you with. We wrote it well. I had a very, very good editor. And ladies and gentlemen, these are books, not thesis. So if we get a few commas misplaced or whatever, please overlook that. This is entertainment. These are books. These are fiction books. Not nonfiction, not for school. These are not for scholars. Scholars can read it, but we're not looking for rogue scholars. This is not written by a rogue scholar at all. But that said, ladies and gentlemen, you'll enjoy it. And beautiful editing, beautiful. Wait for it. Yes. They did a very, very, very great. And we did it in Act 1, 2, and 3. So that said, guys, I'm going to let you go because I've held you long enough today. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. All my love. Please tune in. Please subscribe and like, because I will be on my YouTube more than ever now, because other platforms, I love them to death, but they are becoming too toxic, too bullying, too much, period. So, enjoy yourself, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. Don't forget about Jay-Z Luciano's books. My writing pen is on fire. And also the Smoking Glass Literary Bar. I have 3 new authors wanting to join me, and I'm so ecstatic about that. So, have a great evening, and I will talk to you guys later. Love you, love you, love you. And don't forget to mask up, please, because this variant is not playing. Have a great day, guys. Have fun, but be safe. Love you.